Hey, what's happening? YouTubers back with another action figure review, and today we're going to take a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Atom Smasher Mega Figure based on his upcoming appearance in the Black Adam movie. Now, this is a mega figure, so as such, it's going to be priced at a different price point, at the $40 to $50 price point, depending on who you order from. Now, is it worth that price point? Let's go ahead and find out. Before we begin the review, I do want to mention there is a bonus review in this video, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, anyways, like we always do with our reviews, let's get started with the box art first. So it's what you'd expect from any mega fig from McFarlane Toys. So you see the figure right there, DC Multiverse logo, Black Adam, Atom Smasher, and then if we actually turn it to the side, I didn't realize it until I just saw it right now, but you see the Black Adam movie logo on the top, Atom Smasher supersized for the Black Adam movie, and the McFarlane Toys logo on the bottom. And then on the back is that thing we've seen before with other McFarlane Toys figures. It has that sort of stylized artwork. Now, I believe someone in the comments below in another video told me this is what they're using for the promotional artwork, and I think this thing looks sick. But that's enough about this big-ass box. I never realized it said supersize. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyways, let's go and get Atom Smasher out of the box. All right, here's Atom Smasher out of the box doing his best Randy Orton pose. But let's take a look at his accessories first. So he comes with the normal DC base plate. Fuck, he's too tall. And of course, just like with all McFarlane Toys, DC Multiverse figures, comes with a trading card. And the image is the one we already saw in the back of the box. But on the back is the data file. Feel free to pause it if you want to go ahead and read it. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. And we'll get started with the head sculpt first. And I don't know what it is, but doesn't he kind of look like Deadpool? Like, I'm just noticing it right now. It's like a navy blue version of Deadpool. But aside that, it does look pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty basic mask or design, I would say. I do like the attention to detail in the design right there. You can see the texture pattern. It goes throughout his whole suit, but it kind of reminds me of Henry Cavill's Superman, like when you compare it side by side. That texture pattern kind of reminds me of that, but that's pretty interesting to see. And we'll take a look at the rest of the figure. I do like the design of the outfit. I like his Atom logo right there. The only thing is I don't really like the shoulder right here. This little shoulder pad. I wish they would have just molded this with the upper torso part instead of just, looks like it's just glued on there, but I would have liked if it was sculpted on there. But overall, I do like the design of the suit. And here's the thing I like the best about it. If we look in closely, just like Bane and just like Darkseid, the hands are sculpted. It's a hinge. So it's using a peg, and it's not one of those ball joints. And don't get me wrong, Jesus, you guys probably get tired of me saying this, but the ball joints are improved now, but I prefer the hinges way better than the ball joints. So that's pretty cool to see that it has a hinge on there. Hopefully, McFarlane Toys will start implementing it more in the regular 7-inch line, because I'm noticing this trend a lot with the mega figures. And when it comes to the ankle ball joints, it's still there, but it's okay because it's kind of hidden underneath the boot. But it looks pretty good. And speaking of the boot, I do like the design of this. If you look in closely, you can see like the zipper. So it's a huge, huge attention to detail. And I got to compliment McFarlane Toys on that part. That was a nice attention to detail, sculpting the zipper right there. I also like the silver finish of the gauntlets. It looks pretty cool because it just looks like he's been through like a war, like a fight. So that's also another nice attention to detail. Now, when taking a look at articulation, it's your standard McFarlane Toys articulation, but the head can go about that high up and can look down. Wow, that's actually a good amount, which is expected because he's a super-sized figure, so he's going to be looking down on some characters, but it also goes side to side. There are shoulder joints and bicep swivel on there, and double-jointed elbows, which gets you a nice range. I just don't like these cuts. It looks kind of ugly. And then, like I mentioned, there is a hinge at the wrist because they're using the pegs, so it can go move all around with no problem. Then there's also the diaphragm cut. Let's see how much range this can get. Not much, but going back, yep, even as a mega figure, fucking skydiving. But when looking at the lower half, articulation has the, I guess, rubber diaper piece, people like to call it. So it gives you room to kick the legs up that high and far back. Nice amount, but the only thing is be careful because you might bend this a little bit too far or stretch a little too far. And there's also double jointed knees and ankle articulation as well. It's still the ball joints, but it still can go side to side as well. And then, of course, the toe articulation, which, let me know in the comments below how you all feel about toe articulation. I don't think it's needed, especially for this big-ass character, but let me know in the comments below. Now we're just going to jump right into size comparisons. And first size comparison here is the giant size or super-sized Atom Smasher, standing next to a couple other characters from the same Black Adam movie. We have Black Adam and Dr. Fate. So all I need now is Cyclone and Hawkman to complete the Justice Society. I may or may not pick them up. Yeah, I'm still kind of being picky what I collect nowadays. And while yes, this is technically a mega figure, it's not really in scale with the 7-inch line because he's supposed to be way bigger in the movie. But if it was a 1-for-1 scaling, I mean, this figure would be huge. So I understand why they have to put him at this height. And next size comparison, here's Atom Smasher standing next to a couple other mega figs in my collection. We have Bane and we have Darkseid from the Snyder Cut Justice League. And he's a little bit like slightly taller than Darkseid, but he is taller than Bane. And I am kind of jumping ahead here. If you're asking me if this is worth the $40 price point, I would say yes, just because looking at all three mega figures, these could have easily been part of a collective build wave where you need to buy 4 figures at the $25 price point, which then would have been $100. So I am okay for now at this being the $40 price point, just because we are getting our bang for our buck when it comes to these mega figures. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And next size comparison is actually going to be the bonus review I was talking about, the Spin Master Atom Smasher from the Black Adam movie. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is the second review I was talking about, so y'all are in for a treat. But I'll be honest, I'm just going to keep this real short. But basically, this is a first edition one. And to that, I say, here we go. Just open it up. Oh no, it's coming out of the card. What am I going to do? Oh, but by the way, here are the other figures in the wave. Same thing like we saw in McFarlane Toys. We have Black Adam, but he's got his cape with him. We have Hawkman, Cyclone, Atom Smasher, and Dr. Fate. Now, when I saw these at Target the other day, I bought this right after I ordered the Mega Fig because I think they would scale well with each other. I have some cool photo ideas for it, but they had everything there but Dr. Fate. I really want to pick up that Dr. Fate because I think it looks kind of cool, even for a Spin Master figure. But let's go ahead and rip this open. Sorry, y'all, if you're inbox collectors or if you just like exclusive stickers or stuff saying first edition. I'm sorry, but I got to open this up. All right, here's the Spin Master Atom Smasher out of the box. And look at the crooked paint application for his logo. But then again, it's Spin Master, so I'm not expecting top quality paint application. But there is one thing that I noticed. So his gloves have exposed fingers, whereas the McFarlane Toys version didn't. So that's pretty interesting to see. And also another thing that changed, it's like visible that I can see right off the bat, they don't have thigh cuts anymore. And my good friend B-Man did a review of these a while back. I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel. But I don't know if it's something going forward, but I know when I reviewed the Batman line, each of them had thigh cuts, and now they don't. So when the articulation, the way it goes is if you want to move the leg forward, you have to sort of bend it so you can see the hinge right there, and it goes up, and then you bend the knee, or you rotate the knee, and then you can do that. That's like, I don't know if it's because it costs more for Spin Master to do a thigh cut, but geez, that sucks compared to what they've been doing. And I don't know if it's just for the movie series or not, because I did see other figures on the shelf for Spin Master, and they still had the thigh cuts. So I don't know if it's just a movie thing going forward or what, but yeah, that does suck. It's definitely a dip in quality in terms of articulation. There aren't no movements at the torso. It does have single jointed elbows, which gets about 90 degrees. And then the head is kind of weird. It'll like, it's very like stuck. Like if I turn it, it'll just go back to like, yeah, it's just weird. I don't want to break it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not looking for posability when it comes to these Spin Master figures. I just wanted to do a photo or a couple photos of Atom Smasher in the small scale of Spin Master, and then also do a larger shot with the Mega Fig. And then he comes with these two accessories, which are his gloves. So basically, it just ports on with this peg right there. Kind of like how Catwoman had hers, like with the big-ass claw gloves or the mittens. But creativity at its finest, folks. Now we're going to jump right back into size comparisons, and this is the main reason why I picked up the Spin Master Atom Smasher, was so I can kind of do photos with these two together. Now I know color-wise it's not exactly the same, but with different lighting techniques it could work. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And next size comparison, here's Atom Smasher standing next to a couple of deluxe Marvel Legends figures. We have the Marvel Legends Surtur and the Marvel Legends Giant Man. Now this is the body mold of the BAF, but it's the deluxe re-release version. And I kind of like them side by side because they do scale well with each other. Obviously Surtur's bigger, but this is why I said I'm kind of okay with this being the scale size for the figures, because Marvel Legends collectors also made this work with their Marvel Legends collection, even though it wasn't a 1-for-1 scale. And now time for a random ass size comparison, but still keeping within the McFarlane Toys brand. Here he is standing next to a couple of My Hero Academia figures. We have Deku, not Todoroki, and Ochako. My Shiden Heart. Sorry, I was not about to knock this figure down like I usually do, or Dceu would knock it down because this is a big ass figure. All right, some overall thoughts on these figures. Well, let's start with the Spin Master first. I mean, it's an okay figure, but I think they took a huge step back with the way they articulate the figure, especially losing the thigh cut. Like I said, I picked it up mainly because I had some toy photography shots that I wanted to do with this. But other than that, it's okay. It is what it is. Now let's get them out of the way. And let's talk about the Atom Smasher Mega figure. My overall thoughts on that figure is it's an awesome figure. I really like this figure just because a lot of reasons. I like the design of his outfit. He does kind of look like Deadpool, but he does move pretty well, considering the last Mega figure I reviewed was Bane, and he was limited articulation, but that's okay because I don't expect to get him in dynamic poses because he's a big, bulking character, whereas Atom Smasher has a lot of points for articulation, like the diaphragm cut, even though, it doesn't really move forward well, but does have double jointed elbows, and the material is still plastic. It's a lot of plastic, but it's also kind of like a rubbery material, so it's easy to articulate in certain poses. But I really like this design, and I like the scaling of it as well. Like I mentioned, just because it's not a one-for-one scale, like he's as tall as a building in the movie, I think, from I saw the trailer. So even though it's not one-to-one scale with the 7-inch line, I still like it for what it is, just because, people were okay with it with the Marvel Legends version, just like I am okay with it in the DC Multiverse version. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, YouTubers. What do you think about this figure? Are you going to be picking it up? And like always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead, subscribe. Thanks for watching.